We are in Jonesboro, Georgia, and you're logged in with me, your boy Duck E, the newlywed of 2025. If you're watching this, I need you to press like, share the love, and subscribe to my channel. So, me and my wife are in the runnings for America's favorite couple. If you want to vote for us, it's at official F as in Friday, A as in Apple, V as in Victor, couple. You go to that site and you vote for Mr. and Mrs. Douglas Monroe. My 60 gang. We need this. We need this. Good morning. Happy birthday to those born July 2nd, 2025. My condolences go out to those who did not wake up with us today, and there's been a lot of people not waking up. Oh, man. I wake up every morning, I'm like, who's next? Who's next? It's crazy, man. The numbers just keep piling up. Ever since we lost Irv Gotti, it's just been mad, crazy people. Day after day after day after day. I lost my uncle. We lost Irv Gotti, so on, so Sly Stone, The Whispers, and Atlantic Star. The guy with Don't You Stop the Music, I used to like him. All my favorites, they just leaving me. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all want to talk to y'all favorite gal? She's probably watching my dot. Let's call y'all favorite girl. Her name is Mrs. LaShawn Monroe. Here we go.
Check out NT phone. Please hold while I try to connect you.
Boy!
Good morning, husband. How are you?
I was going to go click!
Husband, how's everything going?
Everything's
What's
wonderful. Successful repair in Jonesboro, Georgia. And now I've got to call appliance repairman because my next customer, he wants me to come on July the 5th.
Oh, that's Saturday.
Yeah. So I got to call them and let them reschedule him. And I guess I'm going to go home. I think I'm going to drill those holes into that.
The gazebo?
Yeah.
Do it look like it moved a little bit or something?
No,
like
I think I need to do it, but why wait till the storm comes, right?
Gotcha.
So I think I'm going to do that and try to mount it down today. So I got to go to Home Depot and get me some epoxy.
Okay, remember we're meeting at the park. Do our laps.
We're meeting where?
At the park to do our laps.
Today?
Remember? Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
I said remember. I didn't say member.
We're going to do that today, huh?
Yeah. When I get off work, I'm going straight there. Remember? Okay, so that means that you didn't.
You already got your outfit?
Okay. Yeah.
What color is it?
And I got my weights.
What color?
I have my I got my vest on with my, I think I got on my black leggings or something.
Okay. I know you want us to be coordinated.
Yeah, I got on my black leggings. So you didn't look at my video when I went walking by myself.
Yeah, I saw it.
Then you would know
I
that
hit
today is today.
I liked it.
Yeah, but you didn't watch it. Hold on.
I did watch it. She's always up to something. You didn't know that, said I know that. See, what she need to do is upload it on YouTube. So I can watch it on TV. I don't watch it on here because I'm vlogging, I'm creating content on a daily basis. So I ain't got time to be looking at somebody else's stuff. Figure deal me. It look like it want to rain today.
Are you able to transfer out of the wheelchair to the examiner chair? Okay, all righty. So y'all can Can I say your name, okay? Okay, so the new with the workout, the regimen of walking, I had decided to do Sunday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So those would be my 3 days out of the week. And Wednesdays and Fridays at work is really slow to where I'm able to leave work and go straight to the park. So that's what I'm going to be doing going forward. So today is my Wednesday.
Today is the day, huh?
Today is the day that we just go ahead and meet.
Okay.
At the park. My ankle weights is already in the car.
I don't even know where my ankle weights at. It may be in the car.
Your ankle weights,
Are they in the car with me?
Oh, no. Okay. You see where we have the things that we got for our wedding, like that griddle. When you're in the garage.
They in the garage?
It's in the garage, and they're intertwined or under that purple shaggy rug.
Okay.
That's next. Yeah, it's right. Those are your weights right there.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. So when I get off here, today should be a nice, cool breeze of a day. I only got one doctor. I'm definitely going to be getting out of here early or on time. So just go straight there.
All right.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
It's my baby.
For sure.
Did you see what I sent you? Did you see the text? Did you see where we stand?
Did you see what I did?
No.
I made a video. You know what place we in?
Oh, yeah.
What place we in?
That's what I'm the one who sent it to you, baby. We're in the 17th place.
No, we're in second place. I gotta go. I'll call you right back. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Doug.
Morning, Doug. How you doing?
All right.
Do you work on commercials?
No, sir.
No commercial. Okay, you got it. Thank you.
Don't hang up. I got something for you. I got a customer for today who wants to be moved to Friday. I'm trying to pull this ticket. Give me just a second. I'm trying to multitask. I'm trying to drive. He called me. He said, "Man, I can't do it today. Can we do it Friday?" And so I'm calling you to make the adjustments. Ticket number is going to be 177767.
So she wants to do for Friday?
Yeah.
Carmel and Conyers?
Yep, same time.
Oh, okay, got it. Let me go ahead and reschedule those out. For
right.
Friday, 9 to 12.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Would you do that for my lady? drive me, baby.
Thank you for calling. Check out empty phone. Please hold while I try to connect
Me,
you.
baby, as though we were
Papi, papi, mira,
Your kisses
dígame.
drive me
Tell me.
crazy. Would you do that for me, lady? What you got? Yeah, we're in second place.
Papi, what do you mean second place? The last time I looked, it was at 17th place.
You need to look again.
Okay, I'm going right now. Hold on, what's that? Okay,
Second place when I look.
And how did you look?
Because I clicked the link.
Oh my God, baby.
You see it?
Wait. Voting is open. The moment is here. Boom, boom, boom. Excited, outside, share and rally support. Visit your profile. Let me visit my profile, see what they say. Babe. Oh my God.
What did it say?
Baby, we are in second place.
I shared that on Instagram, YouTube, and I shared it on TikTok. Second place, bro.
I see, baby.
You went from 17th to 2nd.
To second. That's all you, boo. That's you're promoting us. That's all you, babe.
You see the video I made?
No.
It shows us going from 17th to 2nd. Damn.
Okay, I gotta look at
You
it.
talk about me not watching your videos. You don't watch none of mine. And you don't put nothing on YouTube. You know I watch YouTube, so you need to upload your videos to the YouTube so I can watch them.
You gotta show me. You have to show me how to do it because I don't know how to do it.
It's just like
And
Facebook.
I do
It's
watch
just like
your
Facebook,
videos.
but it's a YouTube icon.
Look, I do be watching your videos. It's just that.
Then tell me the one you saw today other than the one you're looking at now. There's another
I'm
one.
not looking at anything right now. I can't look at anything right now. I got a patient. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't look at my phone. I can't be on my phone like you could be on your phone. You know what I
It's
mean?
just too bad.
But anyway, yeah. Okay, I'll call you back. Bye.
Should be weed, should be weed. I've been playing the whispers ever since my boy passed away. Would you do that for me, lady? And the beat goes on, still moving strong. And the beat goes, you better believe it. Still moving strong, on and on. Just like fishing in the ocean, there'll always be someone. Ooh. You African people need to stay out the left lane. Pulling up the line. What the fuck wrong with y'all? Damn. What's that? Oh shit. Tore up his car. Still moving strong, on and on. Bang, bang. But don't get it this time. I keep my feet on solid ground. Getting down. Used to wear that song out. That was the shiznit. Been through stormy weather.
To this change. Late into the night, the Republican majority jumped through hoops to exempt non-contiguous states from these policies to pass cruel legislation. That is why we're up here. writing legislation on the fly to protect some Americans while going after others. No one should go hungry, whether they live in Connecticut, Alaska, Hawaii, or anywhere. It should not matter where you live or what kind of deal your senator made. Everybody deserves to eat. I urge my colleagues to reject this irresponsible legislation, and I yield back.
Gentleman from North Carolina.
I reserve, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman reserved. Gentleman from Massachusetts.
Mr. Speaker, may I inquire how much time I have left?
You have a message.
Yeah. I yield myself to balance of the time. Mr. Speaker, I don't think any of my Republican colleagues have read this provision in the reconciliation bill. In fact, the Agriculture Committee never even did a hearing on it. And yet, billions and billions of dollars in new costs are going to be thrust upon states. And states are going to have to decide whether to cut other programs in order to make sure that no one loses their nutrition benefits, or they're going to have to cut people off of their nutrition benefits. The SNAP benefit on average is about $2 per person per meal. That's it. You can't buy a damn cup of coffee. And my Republican friends are obsessed with trying to throw people off of this benefit. I have no idea why.
Because they're illegal. How about
most
that?
Most of the people on the benefit are children, are senior citizens. They include veterans. Many of them are working full time and can't afford to put food on the table, and this benefit helps them provide for their families. And my Republican friends, have basically gone and attack on this most basic, effective program that is about food. You can live without a lot of things, but you can't live without food. So, Mr. Speaker, for those Republicans who think that it's okay to give Jeff Bezos a tax cut and at the same time cut food benefits for struggling families, let me say clearly, we don't share the same values. We don't share the same values. Unloading billions of dollars in new costs on states, money they do not have, will force them to cut benefits and throw needy people off of SNAP. It is a rotten thing to do. And I believe there's a special place in hell for people who take food away from veterans, from seniors, from children, from former foster youth, and from hungry families. This is sick. This is disgusting. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back the balance of his time. Gentlewoman from North Carolina.
Thank you. Pardon me. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield back the balance of my time and urge all members to vote yes on the question of consideration of the resolution.
Gentlewoman yields back the balance of her time. All time for debate has expired. The question is, will the House now consider the resolution? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I ask for the yeas and nays.
The yeas and nays are requested. Those favoring a vote by the yeas and nays will rise. Sufficient number having arisen, the yeas and nays are ordered. Members will record their votes by electronic device. This will be a 15-minute vote.
Get this wasted. The big, beautiful bill. Let's get it going.
Camp that he's building in Florida.
I think our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, so if any of the news claims are keeping them out in hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here, to be honest.
Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here, Senator.
But we're talking about a 5,000 or 3,000 bed place where they're giving people reasonable accommodations to process them out of the country because they're here illegally. And that's a concentration camp to you. To be quite honest, some people living in squalor, leaking roofs, roaches everywhere. I mean, this place clean. And it's free to them. and they go in here, they get processed out, and they get on about their way. How is this a negative thing? Unless you're a socialist nut job and you think every illegal should be in this country illegally draining the resources, no matter if they're a criminal or not. But Donald Trump toured the facility, and I think we got a clip of that rolling.
Look at the president now. You see the Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem is with him today, along with the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. And as they take this tour through what we're calling, because they do, Alligator Alcatraz, now we're getting to see why they call it that. There is effectively, and I haven't heard anybody else use this wording, maybe they have, but it's like a moat of alligators that encircles this place, as many sides as it has. So, you know, what's interesting about this.
Today has been a weird day. Did I say Alcatraz? I meant the Everglades. I think I said Alcatraz. It said Alcatraz. It's the Everglades. It's the Everglades in Florida. So, which is, I heard, I ain't never been there. I heard there's a bunch of alligators out there. So if I said Alcatraz, forgive me. Just like I messed up a word on one of my other videos that went viral, with 1 million views, and everybody hear me say the word wrong. Anyway, continue.
Says it's exactly transparently what the president has been talking about via the governor of Florida. And if we get a microphone that we can listen to, we will try. Let's try here. I think we may be just too far away from the microphone. Now, you know, no one can find that better than the President of the United States that we have in Donald Trump, because he sees where the cameras are.
Look nice to me, man. Probably smell good in there, too. Maybe not when they pile people in there, but right now it smells good. Floor is clean, everything is good. So let's talk about a little bit of what the reality is, and I have to play the clip of Joy Reid after this. I got, just when you think she can't get no stupider, she just gets stupider and stupider. But we're gonna start with just a couple facts, and this is the key components here when it comes to this Alligator Alcatraz thing. Florida will deputize National Guardsmen as immigration judges to speed up the process. Traditionally, processing some of these people out would take about 3 years, and now they expect it to take about 3 days, which would be so innovative and I would argue would be in the best interest of the United States of America. Donald Trump is urging all red states to follow suit with what Ron DeSantis is doing out there in the Everglades. And then also, this facility is currently have a capacity of 3,000 beds, expandable capacity of up to 5,000 total detainees in this one facility, and it can scale based on needs the way it's designed. It's one of the largest rapid build immigration detention centers in U.S. history, located in Florida's Everglades, using natural terrain and security measures. Now, I want to play the clip before we go to Dum Dum McDum Dum McDum Dum. I want to play the clip of Donald Trump talking about how they got to train the illegals not to run over these alligators. Go ahead.
With the alligator Alcatraz, it's the idea that it's going to immigrate that we just get eaten by an alligator or a snake.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If you snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison. How to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Look like this.
Spread out! It'll confuse him! Try running a serpentine pattern! He's incapable of rapid course correction! Serpentine, everyone! Serpentine! Serpentine!
And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%.
You have a message.
Yeah.
With the #1 pick, Alligator Alcatraz selects Chompy. Chompy's got unmatched size, insane bite force, and swamp-tested strength. Nobody's getting past him. He's a fortress.
Let's go to Joy. Let's go to Joy Reid. Just viewers' discretion is advised. Not only are you looking at a primitive human being, but she's also one of the most disingenuous human beings to ever exist. Now let's play this clip, and I hope you're sitting down. And if you're driving in the car, listen to this. Make sure your seatbelt is on. and don't run over somebody because this woman is insufferable. Roll the clip.
I had to forget about him, but Ron DeSantis is still governor of Florida. He took the Comfy Couch hosts on a tour of the concentration camp that he's building in Florida in order to round up brown people, and throw them in a camp because he doesn't want them in Florida. Surprise, surprise, the economy of Florida is going to be severely harmed by rounding up brown people who, by the way, all over this country, Latinos are afraid to go to work. Anybody who is perceived or looks Latino is afraid to go to work. I know people who are...
Anybody who's Latino is afraid to go to work.
That's such bullshit.
This is a concentration camp. What example of a concentration camp does Joy Reid have in her repertoire? Last time I checked, the only concentration camp of reference is the concentration camp in Nazi Germany, where they put Jews in and they eventually killed them through gassing them and all kind of other nefarious things. That's what last time I checked, Jews were not illegally in Germany. Last time I checked, there was no immigration violation. Last time I checked, they didn't put these people in there. I would argue, people would argue there's a myriad of reasons, but one is because of their race. They put these people there because they hated the Jews. They had all these negative anti-Semitic theologies that some people have today about them then. That's how they ended up in a concentration camp. And it was brutal, and it was millions. They had every intent to kill these people and get rid of them off the face of the earth. But we're talking about a 3,000 bed place where they're giving people reasonable accommodations to process them out of the country because they're here illegally. And that's a concentration camp to you. Let me tell you this. I don't know how a single Jew is a liberal, vote Democrat, or would ever watch Joy Reid or Whoopi Goldberg, any of these leftist nut jobs speak. I don't know how they support people at Harvard. I don't know. If you are a Jew, what are you doing? Just like the dumb Negro, don't be a dumb Jew. Don't be dumb. And I'll say this because people say, you always talk about black people. Look, there's plenty of intelligent, smart black people. I think some black people are, the world wouldn't be what it is today if it had not been for certain black people in this country. Same thing with Jewish people. I mean, I think you go down the list, white people, blah, 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 blah. But don't be the dumb person in your race. How is it that these people get a pass? Jews are still watching Joy Reid and these other nut jobs, and they are the biggest anti-Semitic people on planet Earth. And the reason I say that is not because of your obvious signs of anti-Semitism. It's the subtle signs of degrading what happened in Nazi Germany. When they called Trump Hitler, that's minimizing, in my opinion, what Hitler actually did. Because if you're going to compare Trump to Hitler, you got to say one is like the other. Okay, which one are you going to minimize to? Donald Trump has not killed a single person. Donald Trump has not ordered the mass detention of any citizen for nefarious reasons. So therefore, you have to say that Hitler is more like Trump then. You got to downgrade what Hitler did to make him more like the present day Trump. Because you can't say Trump is like Hitler whatsoever because he didn't do none of the stuff Hitler did. So you got to diminish what Hitler did to try to make him like he's a reasonable, respectable president. It's insane to me. Look at what they do with the Palestine stuff. Look at what these people are crazy. They just throw around concentration camps, Hitler, like it's just something to just be played with. It's insane to me. And I hope these people are, I hope they just keep making me money. Can I say that? I hope they keep doing stupid stuff so I can go to YouTube videos and get millions of views on these videos. Thank you for your service, Joy Reid. Okay.
With people around them. Prosecutors have not entered the courtroom yet. All right, prosecutors have not entered the courtroom yet. So that's the second report that I'm hearing, that prosecutors have not even came, or they're not there. I'm sure they're there, but. All right, so now they're saying Combs is going back to his holding cell. Combs was at 9:30 talking with his lawyer, Nicole Westmoreland, while four of his other lawyers were huddled on the side. Combs standing up, asking marshals, and is allowed to speak to his family. He was allowed to speak to his family seated in the front row. Now he's going back to the holding cell. All right, so he's being taken back to the cell. Go back to your cell. Sean Diddy Combs, going back to his holding cell.
Still deliberating.
The jury didn't have to see the judge today, so the jury is already deliberating. They apparently started at 9 a.m. and they're deliberating, so 9 a.m. And we're about 13 and a half hours into this deliberation. Which would take us at the end of the day around 5 to like 22 hours or so. So we're about 13 and a half hours into this deliberation, and yeah, they reached partial verdict. Deliberations in the Combs trial resume. Combs hugged his attorneys. He hugged his 4 attorneys this morning and waved to people in the gallery. If Diddy is found guilty of racketeering, will all his property and assets be seized? Well, that's a great question. I'm not going to say all of his assets or properties will be seized, but I think they will seize things. How much? I don't know how much they're allowed. Will all of it? Possibly.
Depends on restitution.
Combs' mother and sister are seated in the family section. Combs was. Now, he'd been taken back. This is a report from a few minutes ago. He has been taken back to the holding cell.
They're still deliberating.
He was sitting alone at his defense table. Combs' adult children eventually arrived. 2 of his sons brought female friends, girlfriends, and the group squeezed 10 people into a row that normally fits 8. Two of his boys brought girlfriends or female friends. They were holding hands. 2 of his sons. Combs stands up, asks marshals, and is allowed to speak to his family seated in the front row, now back to his holding cell. Back to your cell, sir. Take your books. He was reading 2 of these inspiration type books. All right, so he's on his way back to his cell, probably in his cell by now. Continuous coverage of Sean P. Diddy Combs. Remember, criminal enterprise existed. That's what they have to prove. Criminal enterprise existed. The enterprise affected interstate commerce. The defendant was associated with or employed by the enterprise. The defendant engaged in a pattern of racketeering activity. The defendant participated in at least 2 acts of racketeering activity. That's what they have to prove. The minimum sentence for racketeering varies by jurisdiction and severity of crime. That's why each of the predicates is important. The more predicates that they could find him guilty on, the higher the sentence would be on the RICO. The less predicates, got need 2, but the less of them would give him less time on the RICO. He faces up to life in prison on the RICO. We've discussed the federal sentencing guidelines over and over and over. It is believed if he's convicted of the RICO, it's going to immediately put him up into the 30s on the federal sentencing guidelines. And then all the enhancements might take him up to level 43, which automatically triggers a life in prison sentence without the possibility of parole. Feds don't have parole. No parole in the feds. So in the feds, life is life. No parole in the feds. So you get a life, you get life. Of course, there's other remedies down the line. Get your sentence commuted by the president. Pardon by the president. Would doubt that happens, though. I know there has been a lot of talk in the trial whether the president of the United States, Donald Trump, would pardon Diddy. I don't think so. Down the line, presidents in the future, maybe if Diddy serves 10 years or so on his life sentence, that's a possibility down the line. You might get a president that could commute his sentence, saying he served too much time or something. Possibly. That's a possibility. We got the polls still up. 6,000 people voted. Verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. 65%. So 2/3 of the people that voted, about 2/3, feel he's guilty on all 4 charges. Still hovering around 20% guilty, but just on the Cassie count. 13% feel he's not guilty on all of the charges, and then only 2% feel like it's Jane. We put Jane in because you never know, but I don't see any way, shape, or form that they would find him guilty on Jane and not Cassie. Follow me? Alicia Johnson, thank you very much for that. I am ZG has a question here. I believe you said can't be guilty 2 and 3 and not 5, but can be 2, 3, 5 and not 4. So confusing. I am ZG. I get it. I mean, it's at all the numbers. There's so many possibilities and scenarios here. But overall, I do think the body language shows that he's guilty of something.
No, Mike Pence. Now, this is the same club, the Punchline. This is 15 years ago, and I had just gotten back from my infamous South Africa trip. And I came to the Punchline just to cheer myself up. It's a safe place where I could tell some jokes. And I find out that this comedian I know, Chris Tucker, who's in all those Rush Hour movies, I find out that Chris is in San Francisco too at some charity event. So I call him, I'm like, yo, I just saw you at some charity event. I said, I'm doing a show at the Punchline. Why don't you come by the club after your event? He's like, cool, Dave. I thought you was dead, nigga. I'll come by. He says, is it okay if I bring some friends? Because, you know, I'm with a lot of people. I go, man, you Chris Tucker. You can bring whoever the fuck you want. And then I show up to the club late that night. I walk into the dressing room, and sitting in the dressing room is Gavin Newsom, who at the time was the mayor of San Francisco, but now he's the governor of California. And sitting next to him was Kamala Harris, who at the time was the DA of San Francisco. Now she's a senator from California that's front running on the Democratic ticket. And sitting next to her was Al Gore. It's fucking weird. And sitting next to Al Gore was the guys from Google, Sergey, and I don't know how to say these. All right. And it was Chris Tucker and Ben Jealous, who at the time was the president of the NAACP, who was all just at this big charity dinner, and Paul Mooney was drinking scotch. And we all was just in there. And, you know, first I was a little uncomfortable when we started talking, and we all got along really well. At some point, Kamala Harris she says to me, she goes, you know, a friend of mine is announcing his candidacy for president tomorrow. I went to college with him. I'm like, what? I go, Barack Obama? She goes, you've heard of him? I'm like, yo, I just read about this dude. And she goes, yo, yeah, blah, 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 we're talking. She goes, you know what? She says, let's call him on the phone. I said, what the fuck? And she picks the phone up and she dials and she's listening like this. And she goes, this is voicemail. And she gives me the phone, she goes, leave him a message. You know, I didn't know what to say. I just said what you say to any black dude that's running for president. You know, stay low, running a zigzag pattern, this kind of shit. And then the last thing I say is, you know what? I said, sir, well, I really do believe you can do this. Like, man, I'm wishing you luck. Now, next day I wake up and go for coffee at a place called the Embarcadero. It's like an eatery by the sea in San Francisco. And I'm walking to the coffee shop and there's a police line and I can't cross the tape. But then I figure, fuck it, I'm Dave Chappelle, so I go into the thing like this. And the police yoke me. These motherfuckers like tackle me immediately. And I see over the police's shoulder Gavin Newsom. I couldn't remember his name, but I remember the night before I had kept teasing him and saying he looked like Christian Bale, the guy from the Batman movies. So I see him and I can't remember the name, so I'm just like, Batman, help. And he stops. He's like, Dave? And then the police see that the mayor knows me, so they all like, oh, sorry about that. And he's like, hey, back up, everybody. And he just picks me up. He's like, I'm really sorry about that. I'm like, I'm fine, don't worry about it. And he's like, listen, I'm here with Prince. Would you like to meet him? I'm like, I know Prince. That's my nigga. And we go around the corner, and it was Prince Charles, the Prince of England. I didn't know the protocol of meeting royalty. You're not supposed to touch him. I dapped him up like a nigga. My nigga. Talking to him and shit like this, dapping him up. This. And that nigga was cool too. I was like, it's really fucking weird. And then I was just out there in the upside down, not having no TV show, trying to figure life out. And the election was going on in the background. And this guy, Barack Obama, was picking up steam. This motherfucker was killing it. And I had a chance to go to the last debate on the Democratic ticket, and I went. It's me and Chris Tucker sitting in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's the last three candidates. It was Barack Obama, John Edwards, and Hillary Clinton. Now, Obama's a lot taller than Edwards and Clinton, and he had the center podium. And at one point, they're all on stage, and they start fussing, and Obama goes, look, none of us are perfect, like this. And his hands was like this, and there was light shining behind his head, and the other two candidates was looking up at the nigga, and I was sitting in the audience like, this nigga looks like Jesus. And I realized in that moment that I was looking at the next president of the United States. I was certain of it. I couldn't explain it, but I knew what I was seeing. And I got really excited. And I'm not that kind of guy. I said, I gotta meet this motherfucker. So I stayed. They were all on stage doing interviews, and I just waited. I was waiting and waiting, and then John Edwards was done with his interviews first, because everybody knew he wasn't going to win. And I see John Edwards, and I said, hey, Senator Edwards, I just want to say hi. And that motherfucker looked at me like, fuck you, nigga, you going to lose anyway. And then he left, and then Hillary Clinton just walked by me in one of them Steve Harvey suits. But Obama was taking forever. Everybody wanted to talk to him. When I knew the media saw exactly what I saw, there was no question about it. That was the guy. I waited and I waited. And finally, it must have been over an hour and a half. He finishes his last interview. He's like, man, thank you very much. Good talking to you. And he turns around and we make eye contact. He sees me. And when he sees me, he looks over, he goes, Dave Chappelle. And Obama did me the same way I did Prince Charles. He dapped me up. he like bro hugged me and he pulled me in and I'll never forget this. He said in my ear, "I got your message." Thank you very much, New York City. Good night. He lets out a heroin scream. Yeah. And that should be the end of it. But, I miscalculated. While he's on the ground screaming, I noticed that his teeth are horribly miscolored. That's not heroin at all, is it? That's crystal meth. He pops right back up unscathed. Roar! Time for the heavy stuff. Clack, clack, buckshot! And then if you got a friend with him, I got one more bird shot left. And I repeat the cycle. After that, nigga, it's slugs for everybody. And I'll be in a kitchen full of dying heroin addicts, saying stupid heroin last words. You shot me, bro. Oh, it hurts me, man. It hurt. The last words are always the dumbest words. Why is your dick out? I'm just afraid of being attacked. Happens to the best of us. Don't ever forget what happened to that French actor. You know what I'm talking about? Jussi Smollett. He's a very French, very famous French actor. Y'all never heard of Jussi Smollett? Jussi Smollett is an actor from France. And he became famous on a show called Empire. One night, he was in Chicago late at night and was the victim he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack. You see, Jussi Smollett is gay and he is black, not just French. Always a crazy story. Apparently, when he's walking down the street late at night, two white men came out of the shadows with MAGA hats on and beat him up. Tied a rope around his neck, called him all kinds of niggas, and put some bleach on him and ran off into the night. This shit was like international news. And everybody was furious, especially in Hollywood. It's all over everybody's Twitter feed and Instagram page. Justice for Jussi and all this shit. The whole country was up in arms. It was talking about it all the time on the news. And for some reason, African Americans, we were like oddly quiet. We were so quiet about this shit that the gay community started accusing African American community of being homophobic for not supporting him. But what they didn't understand is that we were supporting him with our silence, because we understood that this nigga was clearly lying. None of these details added up at all. He said he's walking down the street in Chicago and white dudes come up to him and say, "Hey man, aren't you that faggot nigger from Empire?" Fuck? Does that sound like how white people talk? know white people. They don't talk like that. Are you that faggot nigga from Empire? They would never say that. It sounds like something that I would say. If you're racist and homophobic, you're not even gonna know who this nigga is. You can't watch Empire. Black people never feel sorry for the police, but this time we even felt sorry for the police. Can you imagine if you was a police veteran taking this kid's police report? Okay, Mr. Smouye, please tell me what happened. All right, 2 a.m. You left the house at 2 a.m. It's minus 16 degrees. Right. You were walking. You're walking. All right. And where were you going? Subway. Sandwiches? That's when the men approached you? Did you see them? Do you have any? Okay, what they have on? MAGA hats. MAGA hats on in Chicago. Excuse me 1 second, Mr. Smouye. Frank, come here for a second. Find out where Kanye West was last night. Such a fucking outrageous story. He said they put a rope around his neck. Has anyone here ever been to Chicago? All right, so you've been there. Now tell me, how much rope do you remember seeing? Who the fuck is carrying rope? Like, when did you get mugged, nigga, in 1850? Who's got rope? Who's got rope? Man, this shit was awful. So, okay, I'm doing a show somewhere, and I'm on stage, and I was a little drunk, you know. And I figured, fuck it, let me talk about that nigga a little bit. I figured to be safe, because, you know, everybody's phones are locked up. And I went in on this kid. I was talking all kinds of shit. Now, I didn't know that there was a journalist in the audience. And unfortunately for me, that motherfucker took impeccable notes. He told everybody everything I said. He was even putting the jokes in the headline. The headline said, Dave Chappelle says he wants to smash a dollhouse over Juicy Smouye's head. For sure, when I read that headline, I said, well, that's it for me. I'm canceled. But lucky for me, that very same day, the Chicago police caught the motherfuckers that actually did it. And hilariously, they were both Nigerian. Not only were they not white, they were very, very black. They were Nigerian, which is the funniest shit. The whole story is funnier now. This is MAGA country, you faggot nigga. You faggot nigga. If you're in a group that I made fun of, then just know that I probably will only make fun of you if I see myself in you. I make fun of poor white people because I was once poor. And I know that the only difference between a poor black person and a poor white person is that a poor white person feels like it's not supposed to be happening to them. Everything else is the same. I know what it's like to have a cold house. I wasn't allowed to touch the thermostat growing up without asking my father. And it would be fucking freezing in the house. I'd be like, Dad, please, can I please just turn the heat up to like, I don't know, 32? Nigga, it's really cold. And my dad would say, just put more clothes on, David. Got all 3 of my outfits on, nigga. When you look at me, I'm freezing up here. And he said, just don't think about how cold you are, David. And I said this, I didn't say it to him, but I said it in front of him so he could hear it. I said, I fucking hate being poor. And my dad got really upset. He didn't scream or holler, that wasn't his way. He just threw his newspaper on the floor and he said, David, 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 you are not poor. He said, poor is a mentality. He said it's a mentality that very few people ever recover from. Don't you forget it, son. You are broke. He said, these are just financial circumstances that I hope to overcome one day very soon. And I said, well, Dad, whatever you want to call this, it's wildly uncomfortable. There was a big dance coming up in the middle school. I was 12 years old. I said, Dad, can I go to the dance? He said, of course you can go to the dance. I want you to get out and meet some more kids. I said, great. It costs $3 to get in. And my dad said, ooh. Sorry, son, I don't have it. I was like, what the fuck? You don't have $3? Well, then how are we alive, Dad? I wish I found some way out of this hell. I'd do anything to not be poor. I will show Michael Jackson my anus if I get a chance. I just gotta get out of this hell. Dad said, if you want to go to the dance bad enough, I'll tell you what, there's some money in the change jar, get the money from there. I was 12 years old, that's what I did. I showed up to the dance early. There's a long line of kids waiting behind me while I'm at the door trying to count out 300 pennies to get inside. I will never forget this shit as long as I fucking live. Oh man, you know, if you've been poor, you know what that feels like. You were shamed all the time. Feels like it's your fault. And all them kids was laughing, ha, ha, ha. Look how poor Dave Chappelle is. Like when I think back at it, that's really the only time in my life that I ever thought to myself, I should kill everybody at school. Thank you very much, everybody.